Hi, my name is Ryan Carlson. Today I'm going to talk to you about why you should abolish the Electoral College. If you remember the election of 2016, George Bush versus Al Gore, do you remember who won the popular vote? Well, maybe I should ask you this. In 2016, when it was President Trump versus Hillary Clinton, who do you think won that popular vote? Well, I can tell you the two people who won the popular vote never made it into the White House. Now, the Electoral College is pretty much a point system. Every state gets a certain amount of points for how many senators and how many House of Representative members they have. California, for example, has about 55. Wyoming has 3. There are 538 in total, and you only need about 270 to win. So, California and Wyoming, that's a big number difference. So, in Wyoming, do you think there's going to be a lot of presidential campaigning in there? Do you think presidents are going to come visit? I don't think so. I think they're going to go to bigger states. I think they're going to go to states that are going to win. And so with that being said, do you really think that you're being represented very well with the Electoral College? Where if it was based on a popular vote, presidents would be going to every state, rallying, talking to the people, and trying to win their vote. So if we take California, for example, it's a very Democratic state. Always seems to vote Democrat. What happens if you're a Republican in California? Well, unfortunately, it seems as though your vote doesn't really matter. It's not going to swing an election. They're always going to vote Democratic. And on the other side of things, let's take Texas, for example. Texas is a very Republican place. And if you're a Democrat living in Texas, do you think your vote's being heard? I don't think so. You see, Doug McAdams said 6 out of the 50 states in the United States had greater than a 6% victory, while the average of the rest of the states had about a 19% victory. So it seems as though 80% of the votes don't really count. Akil Omar stated, "Each state picks their executive officer by votes. There's never a problem with recounts. There's never a problem with anything. So if we pick these executive officers, these senators, and these congressmen, these House of Representatives on votes, why do we pick the president on an electoral college? That just doesn't seem right to me." You see, the electoral college is not democratic. It is not one person, one vote. It is one vote, one state. Everybody in that state, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat, however many votes that state gets for the Republican candidate or the Democratic candidate, that state now has to go Republican or Democrat. Imagine if we could abolish the Electoral College. Think about it for a second. Your vote actually matters now. Your vote actually goes into picking a president. Just like your vote goes into everything else, picking your senators, picking your mayors, picking your school board leaders. I mean, it just sounds like the perfect democratic election. And we're supposed to be based off a democratic country, correct? The Brennan Center says the Electoral College has not reflected a popular vote on 5 occasions. So that means on 5 occasions, 2 of them being within the last 20 years, the popular vote has not reflected the Electoral College, meaning that 5 presidential candidates potentially lost out on their chance to be in the White House because of the Electoral College. And you could be saying to yourself, some of them I'm glad they lost, But I think now most people are kind of hoping the Electoral College wasn't a thing. So, how do we abolish the Electoral College? How do we start this process? You may be wondering, we don't get a voice when we vote. How are we going to get a voice to stop this? Well, it starts with us. We call our senators, call our congressmen, and we tell them, this is wrong, this is not right, we need to stop this. It seems as though our votes and our voices are not being heard as well as we think they should be heard. Let's talk about the disproportion in California versus Wyoming. In California, you may think, since we have 55 electoral votes, that we actually have a bigger influence in the election, which we do. But did you know that in California, we actually, as a one voter, our vote counts for about 50 votes in Wyoming? That doesn't seem right to me. It seems like people of Wyoming, it's almost a one person, one vote kind of thing. Whereas the people in California, doesn't really seem like it's a one person, one vote. We're very outnumbered and we're very populated here. Second, we need to tell them that we see that the disproportion of our vote versus a vote in a state like Wyoming. And we need to tell them that that is unfair. I believe it is time for our voice to be heard in America. Our generation has made a lot of strides when it comes to equality, gender equality, race equality, and I can see from a lot of the people that I serve with in the military and a lot of people that I meet out on the streets, they're pretty angry and they don't like what's going on. So, why not add this to our problems? Why not try to solve this problem now? We are a new generation of people that seems like we want things changed. We don't like how the old way runs. So, in the end, it's supposed to be one voice, one vote, one person, one voice. But until we abolish the Electoral College, it's not going to be that way. We're not going to pick presidents off of a popular vote. So call your senator, call your congressman, call your House of Representatives, talk to your mayor, talk to anybody, spread the word. We need to abolish the Electoral College. We need to make this voting fair. We need to pick our president off of who we want as president, not who our state wants as president. Thank you very much.